I've been asked by a few people to do a flyby on Pear Deck. Pear Deck is a add-on app program that allows you to create presentations that can be used in class or on. Teachers can log on to Pear Deck using their Google accounts that are supplied by the school. This is actually the easiest way, and it makes it easy to integrate with your Google Slides. Pear Deck has some different activities. The first one that we would look at is called Pear Pop, and these are basically pre-made slides that you can use with your students. This in an online environment isn't the best way to work, but it does if you were in class and you wanted to collect some information. This is relatively easy to do. It doesn't require any kind of planning for you. You just have to pick what you want to show. So these are different prompts that you can use for beginning, during, and end of class. These are some other different prompts that are available. So if you select one of these, you can have your students join on this by either joinpd.com and putting this code in. The easiest way to do this would be to copy this address, and then have students click on a link in your Canvas course to be able to go to this one. My internet is a little slow, but one of the things it always asks is how you feel today, or you can skip it. But this is the student side, so this is what students will have. Each of the students would be able to put in what they've learned. They can type in there. And then as the teacher, if you close that, you'll see that you can one-of-one response. So you start to see, and you can actually see the responses. And this is actually how the Google Slides part works. So you can have all the students participate in this one activity, and you can then go through them as a class, or you can go through them on your own later. Now we're going to go back into Pear Deck. The tool that I'm most interested in showing you today is the Pear Deck for Google Slides. So we're going to click here on Create a Lesson, and that will load in. This integrates with your Google Slides account, and there are a couple different steps that you have to follow in order to get going, but those steps are very simple. So the nice thing is they do provide this opening slide that kind of gives you directions, and this kind of overviews that you need to open the Pear Deck add-on through the menu up here. This will add a lot of the different interactive features. Now you'll see it's already listed there, so you can just click on Open Pear Deck Add-on. The first time you do this, you'll have to install the add-on, and that'll pop up from the Google Marketplace. You can click Add-on and then Continue, and you'll have to give it permission with your Google account. But this will install a handful of interactive tools on the side that allow you to create slides that are allow students information. And you'll see that there are different features for different subject matters and different age levels. So now we see that Pear Deck for Google Slides has been installed. We can click Done, and we can close this window. And then when we go up to Pear Deck again and hit Open Pear Deck Add-ons, the Pear Deck sidebar will show up, and that will allow us to add interactive slides from the library, or to create custom questions. And once you've done that, then you can click on Start a Lesson, and that's really very simple. So I'm going to delete this slide, and then we're going to go into the template library. And I think the template library is one of the stronger parts of this. So at the beginning of your lesson, these are different options that you can have. What did you learn from the homework? Think of a question your classmates might have. What do you wonder about today's topic? So this could be a great bell ringer to have as students come into your online classroom. Then we can go back to during a lesson and we can look at some of the other options. And those options are if you wanted to have students have a stretch break. I like that's kind of funny. This could be, it's an agree disagree draggable prompt. And that's loading in. Then we'll go back again and we'll go to one of the subject area sections, and I'm going to choose math this time. Now if you have better internet than me, this will come in very quickly. So there's some different items here, but you start to see a grid. You can have a problem that you want your students to solve. Let's use this one. So, and this one, as a math teacher, you could enter your problem right here and then ask students to show their work here. And we'll just assume that we've got this all put together and we're going to start the lesson. What you would want to do is, like in the pre-made samples earlier, the first thing that's going to be asked is to create a student, if you're going to create a student-paced activity or instructor-paced. Depending on what you want your students to do, if you want them to solve several problems ahead of time or for tomorrow, you could do a student-paced activity. Or if you want this to be sort of how you work through your class period, this would be an instructor-paced activity. So we'll pick that one. And it's going to load in. As it loads in, you'll notice that, again, we have the, this is like what I call the projector screen. It tells the students how to join. They can join pd.com and put in that code. But again, the easiest way is to give the students the link in their Canvas course. Clicking on this link copies it to your clipboard, and then you would just go ahead and add it to your Canvas course so that they could access it easily. You could also put it in the chat of your online classroom, but that will load your presentation in for students. Students again are asked how they're feeling today. Happy. And the presentation loads in for students to start to work with. So the first, this is the bell ringer. It says, think of a question your classmates might have. Students are going to be prompted with this upon clicking that link. They can type their question in. And then the nice thing is as the instructor, you can give 2 or 3 minutes for them to type that in there. And then the next would be that from the back you can control it right down here. And you can move on to the next portion, and you'll notice that students see this screen. You can ask them a question, in this particular case, whether they agree or disagree with a statement, and they can click how close they are to agreeing or disagreeing. And then, again, as the teacher, you can move the slide, and the student's slide moves along. You can ask them to write the answer to the problem. Very simple, very easy to do. And one of the things that I really like about this is that you start to see, oh, well, one student has responded. So you can kind of see where students have gone. And again, you can see what each student has done. And if you have multiple presentations, you can scroll through multiple different kids' work. You can see the responses. There's my response that I had. So Pear Deck takes a little bit of presentation time, a little bit of time to put together on the teacher side, but it does look like a tool that's very good for managing content and collecting student information, and also being able to see where all of your students are as far as a particular problem or situation. I would encourage you to check it out. at peardeck.com. Again, it's a free 90-day premium account that we can use. Thanks, and have a great day.